Wembley Stadium buzzed with anticipation hours before kickoff. The air was electric, thick with excitement and nerves, as fans from all corners of the country made their way to the iconic ground. The stadium, bathed in the glow of floodlights, stood as a beacon for football lovers everywhere, promising an unforgettable night. Fans in red and white filled the stands, their faces painted, flags waving and voices raised in song. They came with hope in their hearts, dreaming of a memorable England win that would echo through the ages. The energy was contagious, spreading from row to row, uniting strangers in a shared passion. The stakes were high, a crucial World Cup qualifier under the iconic arch. Every supporter knew what was on the line: pride, progress, and the chance to edge closer to football's greatest stage. The banners fluttered in the evening breeze, a reminder of the history and glory that Wembley represents. The roar as the teams were announced was deafening, a wall of sound that reverberated through the stands and onto the pitch. Each name called was met with thunderous applause, the crowd's excitement reaching fever pitch as the players prepared to step into the spotlight. England's players looked sharp and focused, their eyes locked on the challenge ahead. In the pre-match huddle, they exchanged determined words, reminding each other of the journey that brought them here and the expectations of a nation resting on their shoulders. Gareth Southgate watched from the sidelines, his plan clear. Calm yet intense, he offered final instructions, his belief in his squad unwavering. Every gesture and word from the manager carried weight, a steadying presence amid the chaos of match day. Andorra, the underdogs, stood proud, knowing the challenge ahead. Their journey to Wembley was a story of grit and determination, and tonight they faced giants with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Representing their country at Wembley was a dream come true for them. The players took a moment to soak in the atmosphere, their eyes wide with awe, hearts pounding with pride. For many, this was the pinnacle of their careers, a night they would never forget. The contrast between the two teams was stark: England's stars versus Andorra's resilience. One side boasted household names, the other unsung heroes, yet both shared the same dream: to leave their mark on this hallowed turf. But that's the magic of World Cup qualifiers, David versus Goliath. On nights like these, anything can happen. The underdogs can rise, the favourites can stumble, and the beautiful game can deliver moments that defy all odds. The referee's whistle cut through the tension, signalling the start of a contest that would test skill, spirit, and resolve. Every player knew that in the next 90 minutes, legends could be born. The game kicked off, and Wembley erupted. The crowd's roar became a living force, pushing the players forward, willing them to greatness. The stage was set for England to showcase their attacking prowess, but as the first passes were played, it was clear that both teams were ready to give everything. Under the lights of Wembley, a new chapter in football history was about to unfold. England entered the Group K qualifiers as overwhelming favourites, carrying the weight of expectation from fans and pundits alike. The Three Lions, with their rich footballing history and a squad brimming with talent, were seen as the team to beat. The atmosphere was electric, with supporters filling the stadium, waving flags and singing anthems, all hoping to witness a dominant display from their national heroes. Across television studios and social media, pundits confidently predicted a goal fest, expecting England to put on a show and rack up a big scoreline. The consensus was clear: anything less than a convincing win would be a disappointment. But for Gareth Southgate and his players, this was more than just another game. They were used to this kind of pressure, having faced it in major tournaments before. The manager reminded his squad that every match in international football demands focus and discipline, regardless of the opposition. Every point and every goal would matter in their Group K campaign, not just for qualification but for building momentum and confidence as the tournament progressed. Southgate stressed the importance of professionalism and respect for Andorra, regardless of their lower ranking. He demanded that his team approach the match with intensity and focus, never underestimating their opponents. England's tactical plan was clear: dominate possession, attack with pace, and keep the pressure on from the first whistle. The strategy was to use the full width of the pitch, stretching Andorra's defence and creating space for their creative players to exploit. England's wingers and full-backs were instructed to push high up the field, providing options and looking to deliver dangerous balls into the box. The team worked on clever movement and intricate passing, with wingers and fullbacks making overlapping runs and searching for those decisive through balls that could unlock a packed defense. Southgate's message was clear: be patient in possession, but ruthless in the final third. The players were encouraged to entertain the fans, but above all to secure the win and set the tone for the rest of the group stage. On the other side, Andorra knew they faced a monumental challenge. Their game plan was simple: defend deep, stay organised, and try to frustrate England for as long as possible. Any opportunity to counter-attack would be a bonus. The Andorran defenders and goalkeeper braced themselves for a relentless onslaught, knowing they would need to be at their very best to keep England at bay. For Andorra, discipline and concentration were their only hope. Every player had to remain alert, communicate constantly, and seize any chance to relieve the pressure. England's depth and quality were evident from the outset, with a strong bench full of star players ready to make an impact if called upon. The competition for places kept everyone sharp and motivated. With the crowd behind them and the odds stacked in their favour, the scene was set for what many expected to be a one-sided contest. But in football, anything can happen. From the very first whistle, England wasted no time in stamping their authority on the match. The energy was palpable as the players surged forward, immediately setting the tempo and making their intentions clear. Every pass, every movement, spoke of a team determined to dominate from the outset. With crisp, confident passing, the Three Lions moved the ball around the pitch, dictating the rhythm and forcing Andorra onto the back foot. Their composure in possession was evident as they calmly built up play and searched for openings. The stadium erupted with excitement as England pressed high, pinning Andorra deep into their own territory. The home fans could sense something special was brewing, their cheers growing louder with every attack. In midfield, Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham orchestrated play with remarkable poise. Their vision and control allowed England to maintain possession and dictate the pace, ensuring Andorra rarely saw the ball. Andorra found themselves chasing shadows, unable to disrupt England's flow. The visitors struggled to string passes together as England's relentless pressing forced errors and turnovers. The relentless movement and energy of the English side was a sight to behold. Every player seemed to be in constant motion, making intelligent runs and offering options all over the pitch. England's attacks came in waves, sometimes stretching Andorra wide with quick play down the flanks, other times slicing through the middle with intricate passing and clever combinations. The pressure on Andorra's defence was unyielding. Early on, England carved out several promising opportunities. Powerful headers and sharp runs into the box kept the Andorran defence on high alert as the Three Lions looked to capitalise on their dominance. Long-range efforts tested the Andorra goalkeeper, who was called into action repeatedly to keep his side in the game. England's willingness to shoot from distance added another layer of threat. The Andorran defence was stretched to its limits, with their keeper already making several crucial saves. Desperate blocks and last-ditch tackles became the norm as England piled on the pressure. With every attack, the sense of an inevitable breakthrough grew stronger. England's forwards found space in the box time and again, threatening to break the deadlock at any moment. England's patience in possession was impressive. They refused to rush, instead calmly recycling the ball and waiting for the perfect moment to strike, showing maturity and confidence. Andorra were forced to defend deep, with nearly every player camped on the edge of their own box. The visitors were under siege, barely able to clear their lines as England continued their relentless assault. The pressure was mounting, and it felt inevitable that England would soon find the breakthrough their dominance deserved. The breakthrough came around the 15th minute, crafted with real quality. England's patient passing finally unlocked Andorra's defence. Jude Bellingham picked up the ball, spotted Kane's run and delivered a perfect through ball. Kane timed his run, stayed onside and finished coolly past the keeper. Wembley erupted as Kane celebrated, pointing to Bellingham for the assist. The relief and excitement were palpable. England led 1-0 and the floodgates looked ready to open. Andorra's resistance was broken, but they had to regroup quickly. The Three Lions had drawn first blood. The home crowd sensed more goals were coming. England's composure and class were on full display. The match tilted decisively in England's favour. England didn't let up after taking the lead. They dominated possession, pressing forward with confidence. Bukayo Saka was outstanding on the right wing, tormenting Andorra's defence. His pace and trickery created dangerous situations and drew fouls. Saka's link-up play and movement opened space for teammates. He delivered several dangerous crosses, nearly leading to more goals. Andorra struggled to contain him, often doubling up defensively. Saka's energy and skill kept England's attack relentless. The crowd buzzed every time he touched the ball. England's momentum was unbroken, with Saka a key outlet. The Three Lions looked hungry for more. England's second goal came before the half-hour mark, a product of sustained pressure. Trent Alexander-Arnold whipped in a pinpoint cross for Toney. Toney rose highest and powered a header into the net. England were now 2-0 up and cruising. Moments later, a swift counter-attack saw England strike again. Andorra lost possession and England broke with speed. Kane finished off the move, calmly slotting home his second. 3-0 before half-time, the contest was effectively over. England's variety in attack was on full display. The home side played with freedom and confidence. Wembley celebrated a dominant first half. The half-time whistle saw England leading 3-0 after a dominant display. Southgate's men controlled possession and created chances at will. The goals came from clever passing, crosses and counter-attacks. England's performance was nearly flawless, delighting the home fans. Andorra's defence showed spirit, but the gulf in quality was clear. Their goalkeeper made several saves, but couldn't stop the onslaught. Offensively, Andorra offered little threat. Wembley's mood was celebratory, fans buzzing about Saka, Bellingham and Kane. The main question, how many more would England score? The Three Lions looked set for a big win. England made changes at half-time, giving squad players valuable minutes. Fresh legs like Foden or Palmer injected new energy. The message, keep the intensity high and look for more goals. Saka finally got his goal, curling a shot into the far corner. Wembley roared as England went 4-0 up. Bellingham soon added a fifth, surging from midfield to score. England's relentless attack overwhelmed Andorra. Toney grabbed his second, finishing a rebound for 6-0. The substitutes maintained England's tempo and creativity. Andorra were outmatched, but England showed no mercy. The Three Lions' depth and quality were on full display. Credit to Andorra. They never gave up, showing pride and effort throughout. Their goalkeeper made several impressive saves, keeping the score from rising even higher. England's dominance was total 6 goals scored, none conceded. Every player contributed to a professional, attacking display. The clean sheet pleased Southgate and the defence. Fans left Wembley thrilled by the performance. England's emphatic win solidified their place atop Group K. The result sent a strong message to World Cup rivals: 6 goals, 3 points and growing confidence. England's journey to the World Cup looks promising. Performances like this show they mean business. The road ahead is long, but England are on track.